Welcome back to Cross Tactics. Hope you are doing fantastic. Today I just want to run over how to fit an AR style stock onto the back of your TCS2 platform. So this right here is our rapid fire tactical crossbow package. That is our Cross Tactics auto quiver along with the TCS2 self-cocking tactical 80-pound crossbow, true 80-pound limb, unlike a lot of other self-cocking crossbows that claim to be 80-pound. Anyway, that's not the point. Point is, I had plenty of people ask me when they saw my AR style stock how to get this onto your platform, whether it's the Alligator, whether it's OP360, whether it's the Shredder, the HellHawk. All of these crossbows are the same. That's why I refer to it as the TCS2, because that is what the model is. That is what the model is marked as before branding of the companies who resell them start. So before it gets the name HellHawk, Alligator, whatever else, it's the TCS2 model, MK TCS2. Anyway, so you want to firstly get this stock off, the standard one. Very easy. You've got some hex nuts over there, 2 of them. If you see cats coming in and out of the video, don't worry about it. Okay, so you just take these off, doing it at an angle that I'm trying to show you, but it's pretty self-evident. Okay, these out, 2 of them, each one with a nut. Catch the nut, don't lose it. And then you'll see the way that this, now you can shorten it, make it longer, whatever. So the way that this is put in here, as you can see, it slides into this hole over this rail, right? So it's a completely different way of putting the stock on, right? So now we've got this off, put it to the side, and you'll see this guy slides right over it, and this rail goes in where the buffer tubes piece would normally go into. Right, you can see it's going to fit. There it is. It's pretty tight. It's no wiggle, right? Now, how do you get it to be secure there? Well, this particular one has got a hole here for a screw. I don't know if you can see that hole there. So if I put the threaded screw through there, it's going to bite into these grooves. Okay? So I can either do that, check where it is. Now, what's stopping it from going further is the pin here from this thing. So these grooves are too small for the pin inside to click into them. That's why I use the screw. But you can also modify this. Okay, so what I did here is, you can see I just made a hole there, right? Instead of filing all of this away, I don't know if the camera is focusing in on this or not. It doesn't really want to, but anyway, you can see the outline of the hole there. So instead of filing away material to make this groove wider, I just made a hole there. So I could still use those. They are still the same size, this groove technically, if I put a screw through there. But I made that hole so that the pin that's inside there can sit in there. Small modification, and then it allows you to, instead of using a screw like I normally do, it allows you to use this actual piece here. clicked in. So that's not going anywhere. And that's that pin clicked into the groove where I made that hole. It's not a very deep hole, it's about as deep as the groove. I just made a circular diameter inside there. And now that's it. And that allows any of the other stocks to also have their pins slip in there. Now, if you're going to do a lot of adjusting, then you're going to want to do that on all of them. But I'm only going to use that. It's the length I want. I don't want it to be shorter. Okay. So let's see if the Steambow stock will fit. Let's first go with the most popular one, right? They'll both fit, they're both the same size. Now, in case you're wondering how to get this off the buffer tube, right? The limit is there, is you just have to pull this pin even further, right? So you just grab this pin and pull it further than what this allows it to go. And then it'll slip over there and you can take the stock off. Okay. So you can see once again, same thing, keyhole, it will fit. There you go. It's going to go until it hits where the pin is. Then from there, squeeze it in. There you go. That's on there. Okay, so now it's this pin in that little hole I made in the groove that's keeping it from going back and forth. Okay, and there you go. It's a very, very small modification to make, and it'll fit. The only difference between a mil-spec and a commercial spec buffer tube, let's just get this buffer tube here. The only difference between a mil-spec, which is military spec, military specifications, and commercial spec, is the diameter of your tube is smaller or bigger by fractions. I mean, fractions of a millimeter, or maybe a millimeter. No, definitely less than a millimeter. So you should be able to put mil-spec on a commercial buffer tube and a commercial spec on the same buffer tube. The only other difference is material, the actual material the buffer tube's made of, and the thread count, I believe. Could be wrong. Yeah, that's the only difference as far as I know between military spec specification and commercial specification buffer tubes. So there you go. It's easy as that. It's not that complicated. I've been asked by people to show it as if it's so complicated to do, but it really isn't. It's that simple. And this doesn't rotate or move. In fact, it's more stable on here than it is on the Steambow buffer tube. So if you find any similar buttstocks, they will fit. The same with this one. This will fit too. For interest's sake, let's do that then. All right, I'll take this one off. You can see how stable it is on this platform. Whoops. I think I just just knocked the table there. Made a little mark. Try and buff that out at some point. Anyway, so we got the Steambow one off. Let's put it back on the Steambow. You can see once it's on, pull this pin further than what it normally wants to go. And go Okay, look at that. You didn't have that when it's on the other platform. Okay, so yeah, let's quickly put this is it's also the Stinger platform, very similar to the TCS2, longer rail, no horn, different polymer apparently. So yeah, what I don't, I just want to take this off. So same story with this, also from Steambow, this specific one. You slide it out and then push that pin more than it normally goes. And then buffer tube comes off, your stock comes off. Here we got the TCS2, Alligator, OP360, HellHawk, SAS Rogue, whatever, and fits like a glove. There you go, you hear that click? That's that pin clicking into that hole that I made in the groove. Once again, this is tight on here. Tight. Tighter than it does sit on the buffer tube. So I'm not sure what complications people have run into when they tried this for themselves. I did not face any complications. Like I said, all I had to do was make that a little bit, put a little hole in there. That's all. You can see how nice and tight it sits on here. All right. Okay, let's put this guy back on the M10. Call it the M10 because it's got the M10 magazine system, M10 receiver, the M10 mag. Currently, I'm using standard aluminium bolts, the golden. Anyway, that's not the point. Back on. Gotta get that pin. Okay, back on. All right, and then if you want to switch back to your original, this is easy. It's just putting it back on. And if you have widened one of your grooves, if you've actually gone the route of widening this with a file instead of making like a round diameter like I did, then if you're going to do it with more than one groove, you are going to end up having some play with this. You can just tighten these screws super. But if you go the route I did, then the width of these grooves won't actually change at all. It'll just have a circular diameter in the middle for the pin. All right, I hope that clarifies it. And I hope that gives you some idea of what the difference is between a military and commercial spec buffer tube, and also shows you that you can easily put a buffer tube from Steambow or any of the other brands onto your TCS2 model without any trouble. Seen a lot of people go and buy expensive adapters that you don't necessarily need for it. I would say this about the adapter: it helps bring your stock up, bring the profile up. You see that's basically straight from there, where this one dips down. Once you've got that stock on here, it raises it up a little bit. Okay. All right. Thank you for watching. Stay sharp, shoot straight.